Hello everybody, my name is Yuriy and I'm co-founder of company Acupower. Today I want to describe interesting feature for developers, which is logging feature. So starting from one of recent versions of Acumatica, you can use ILogger in order to log events. What is necessary in order to use ILogger? I have in my blog this article, just if you will need to follow it. So you need to reference basically Microsoft.Extensions.Logging, and you need to reference it from bin folder of Acumatica instance exactly. And what else you will need? You need to say something like MyLogger, type here inject dependency, and then you can use it like this. You can basically write MyLogger log information. It has some other methods which I will show a bit later in Visual Studio, but that's basically what kind of new logger which Acumatica introduced. So one more time, if you need to use that logger and you don't want to use PXTrace for whatever reason, you can use this tool, Microsoft.Extensions.Logging, and then write this. Okay, I continue to explain about logging, and I want to mention also a specific tool which Acumatica has for logging, which is PXFileTraceProvider. So how you can use it? I have here Visual Studio, and in the web config, if you go to section PXTrace Providers and you remove session provider, and instead you add PXFileTraceProvider and mention exact file, all logs will be recorded to that file. And I want to mention that this file will grow very quickly. Let me demonstrate you what I mean. So as you see right now, this file is clean and empty, but once I start Acumatica instance, I start this particular Acumatica instance related to signal, sorry, not signal R, it is yeah, signal R. It is signal R, and take a look. Acumatica instance just starting. While Acumatica instance starts, I want to invite everybody to hit the like button and hit like and subscribe. This will motivate me to record other videos. And as you see, this instance starting quite slowly. It shouldn't be a surprise for you. And you see, instance didn't start, we have file already updated. And if I click on Control End, you see we already have 8,640 lines. Majority of those lines are pretty useless, but yeah, some kind of error message happens. For example, profile slots and some other stuff. So here we are. We have Acumatica instance started. I'm signing in. And after I signed in, again a bit of patience. This instance works now much slower because all trace is written into file, and you see for a couple of seconds we have 39,134 lines just for that. And here we go, and instance still didn't start. Again, do you want to reload it? Couple more seconds and we have 52,000 lines. Majority of that information is basically useless, with exception of something about profile slots error messages which happen in Acumatica, and so on. Let me show you a bit more from the code standpoint. So let me show you from code standpoint. I created graph extension for a SO shipment entry graph. Here I mentioned that I want to inject dependency, and above I have stopwatch for PXTrace, and I want to compare performance of PXTrace against or versus ILogger. In order to test it, I created following code in the button. Let me navigate to page SO302000. This page is opening. Again, this file will get much more information. I click on Ctrl Ent and you see we have 100,000 lines. I'm going to clean it in order to make life a bit easier. And here you can see we have button trace for SO shipment. Here again stopwatch, 10,000 iterations for trace, and then 10,000 iterations for logger of Microsoft. I click on button trace and a bit of patience. I will pause the video while it loads. Now let's see how it works. I just refreshed the page. Let me refresh file. I click on trace. Let's wait for a while. While I'm waiting again, I want to encourage everybody hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. This will inspire me to create more and more videos. Now let's go to file itself. It says it is reloaded, and let's go here, again reload it, and Ctrl F and find next. We see test message tracer, find next, and it says fast occurrence. It's very interesting. We have only single match of test message tracer. Why we have it, I have no idea. But let's say on test message logger, I click on Ctrl C, Ctrl F, Ctrl V, and if I click on find next, you see we have much more. And we have 9,498 matches, which gives us an idea that around 600 elements were lost. So what I can say based on what we see in output file, if you want to use logging, which puts information into file, recommended way for now would be use inject dependency and MyLogger. I'm going to create support case in Acumatica and check if it is something that Acumatica team purposed, but that's, like I would say, it is what it is. Also, I want to highlight another part of additional tables in Acumatica. There is table LoginTrace. What it has login, logout, form opening, session expiration, and customization publishing events. If you need to track it, go to that. So what is LoginTrace? Let's see. Signal R, tables, filter, settings, LoginTrace. We have this table. Which columns it has? Company ID, host, application name. Let's see what kind of information it has. Select star from LoginTrace, and here we go. Here you can see host, date, who signed in, and even node ID, and even some comments, and like, let's say, error message, which we had. Let's go see another table, UPS snapshot history. And here we go. Yeah, I didn't restore any snapshot, but overall you can see history ID, snapshot ID, target company, who was created, and so on. Next table is UPSHistory, or all application updates. Pretty similar story. AU schedule history, schedule execution events, audit history, well, everybody knows about it. Email sync log, we have some exchange synchronization operation, notification history, or AU notification history, what kind of notification happens, push notification errors, tracking, and push notification failed to send. So all of that may help you to log information pretty successfully. I would say that ILogger, Microsoft.Extensions.Logging works better. I would say it even much better than PXTrace if you trace to file. And I'm going to check with Acumatica why we're losing some records anyway, because here we have, like, my expectation was to see 10,000 matches, but we see 9,498. So stay tuned, and again encourage you to like and subscribe.